Welcome to another edition of Chaplain John with Chaplain John Sayers, featuring special reports and interviews with people doing kingdom ministry in Tulare County and beyond. And now, here's Chaplain John.
Hey, everybody needs an FRG in their life. You ready for that? I'm going to introduce Victoria in a minute to you, but if you're listening to us on podcast, or if you'd like to know where my podcast is, it's chaplainchat.podcast.com. That's Chaplain Chat, and podcast is spelled PODOMATIC.com. Well, this is kind of a YouTube and podcast, and this is really cool. Victoria, we've done this before. Welcome again to Chaplain Chat.
Thank you.
And this is really cool because you are in your office, aren't you?
I am. I'm in my newly decorated office. My husband decorated it for me and I'm in love with it. And so it was a perfect background for those of you guys that can see, for me to have a nice little scenery for you.
Yeah. In fact, real quick, give me some, you mentioned, you gave me a little quickie tour on your office, but right behind you, the theme would be.
Yeah, so I love mid-century, 1950s and 1960s. In my real estate business, my branding is actually 50s and 60s. So for my office, my husband wanted to carry that over for my branding. And so I have, the fisheye mirror, which is very iconic. I have the little starburst on the wall, and the rest of my office has all these little, things that go along with the theme from the 1950s and 60s. So that's kind of what you see.
On the coat rack right behind you, what is that thing?
This is a little umbrella.
Oh, what's an umbrella?
Well, it doesn't rain here, so you might not know what this is.
Oh,
but
yeah,
for those people that have rainy seasons, you'll recognize an umbrella.
Very good. The other thing really fun, Victoria, we're going to get into the FRG thing, but you are a realtor, and yes. Your office is right there in Main Street in Visalia. But if people want to connect with you and just, how do they connect with you?
Sure. It's really easy. So you can either call or text me. My phone number is 559-339-9031. That's 559-339-9031. And then also I do have social media everywhere on every platform. And my name is Sale by Victoria, but it's not B-Y like buy, it's actually B-U-Y like you're buying a house. So Sale B-U-Y Victoria, kind of a play on words there. So you can find me Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere.
The other thing I wanted to, on your Facebook page, I got to tell you, I was looking at it again, and if nothing else, you just got to check out our Facebook page. It's very creative, more than, and really you can flash it. Her wedding proposal was in England, and Rick or Ricky, it was a surprise for you, and I got to tell you, that is such a great. And you see pictures of this. Actually, you see a picture. He's proposing. You're just.
My face is pretty surprised. Yeah.
I know. And your family's there in England. This is all a setup thing. Everybody knew about it, but you did not.
That's right.
And I was really impressed with that. Okay, we've mentioned Rick or Ricky a couple of times. Tell me about your husband real quick.
Yeah, so he is a active duty chief in the Navy, and we are here in the Central Valley of California because he's stationed at NAS Lemoore, and so he is very active. He's been in the military for 14 years now.
Wow.
And he made chief the beginning of this year. Actually, they had to push chief season because of COVID. So they did chief season in January of this year. And it's actually going on. It's about to go on right now. The normal season for chief season is this time of year. So I was so proud of him, definitely well-deserved. And his squadron is actually gearing up for deployment.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of segues us into our main topic. But so yeah, they're getting ready for all of that. So lots of stuff happens before, during, and after deployments, but especially before. And so we're kind of getting geared up for it. And so one of the big things, as you mentioned in the beginning, everybody needs an FRG, which is really what we're here to talk about.
Well, what the heck is an FRG, Victoria?
So FRG stands for Family Readiness Group, and it is a collective volunteer committee of spouses, family members, and friends of those that are serving active duty. And we essentially get together and we do a few different things. We keep everybody connected as a family community unit during deployment. So we have get-togethers, events,
Wow.
especially a lot of them
Wow.
are geared towards the kids. We'll do sometimes like fun adult night things, like maybe, a parent movie night. We'll go see like a rated R movie instead of, taking the kids or something. But we do a lot of that where we stay connected. We try to do something
Wow.
at least once a month. We share contact information. And then another big thing we do to stay connected to the ship while it's out is we send care packages to the sailors.
Oh,
so
get out.
It's really nice. So this particular squadron that my husband's at, they haven't had an FRG for a few years. So I volunteered to help stand one up. So I'm actually acting as president for this particular squadron and this deployment. And then we have had one committee meeting so far, and we were blessed to have someone volunteer as treasurer. So we're able to start fundraising. And then I'm still looking for the rest of my cabinet. So I'm looking for within our squadron spouses that are willing to volunteer as the vice president, secretary, just to form our full cabinet. But we are hitting the ground running and we're really excited about it. So just trying to stand up this FRG for the squadron to serve the sailors and their families.
Now, the FRG, of course, obviously Visalia, obviously Hanford, Tulare, I'm thinking Porterville. Where else?
So it's mainly focused. So you drop a pin on base and then you grow from there. So there's a lot of families that live on base at NAS Lemoore. So we would, we have our meetings and stuff that start there. And then from there we branch out. There's people that do live in Hanford, of course, Visalia. Some people are living, the outskirts in the county, Kings County.
I got you.
So it's really wherever the families are living they'll be included and be a part of it. But most of our activities and most of our meetings are hosted on base just to keep it really central to that.
Oh, how cool is that? You mentioned care packages. What would be like in a care package? Chocolate chip cookies?
Right. Well, probably nothing perishable because it's got to make it all the way across the world. So actually, really good example. Actually, someone that recently was in the FRG with me in one of our meetings. She was telling me that an old squadron that her and her husband were at, they did something called a teddygram during the Valentine's Day holiday season. And so what they did was they got a teddy bear, and then they wrote a little card, and they put little trinkets and things together, and they sent teddygrams to the ship. So every sailor got a little teddy bear with a little heart for Valentine's Day. So that's one example that's more geared towards a holiday themed package. But a lot of spouses will do personalized ones. Like, for example, I know one item that might not be too perishable to send is beef jerky. Ricky loves this particular beef jerky from a place here in the Central Valley. So he said, you can send me little baggies of beef jerky. So I'll do something like that. If there's any medicine he's running low on, I'll send him, whether it's like Advil, ibuprofen, something, I'll send him so he can communicate with me through email primarily. And if there's anything that they're running low on or he needs, or, he's got a craving for something that will last that trip, I can send it. And of course, we always encourage, if the family has children, what we like to do for the FRG as well is we'll get together and have like an arts and crafts day. So all the kids will draw pictures and paint and write letters to their moms and dads on the ship. And that'll be a part of a care package we send, where we send something personalized and loving, and then we can put in items that they might need on the ship and send it over, and everybody gets one.
Now, God forbid this should ever happen, and we do pray for our service people. And just even this right now is, I'm saying, Lord, thank you, be with our servicemen, thank you for serving.
Amen.
But God forbid something tragic should happen. I have a suspicion FRG's there too.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're very well connected. So another thing we'll do is because there are going to be like hard times that we fall on. So as a committee, we're very family centric, we're very community oriented. So if someone's going through a hard time, if they've connected, if a spouse is connected with another FRG spouse and they become really good friends, they can, maybe go to each other's houses and be there for one another if there's hard times, whether it's here at home, they're facing hard times, or on the ship if the sailor's facing hard times. Yeah. So we're very much a community network for each other, so that if someone is struggling, we're all there to lift them up. So that's a big part of that as well. We also do something called, we have a halfway party. So halfway through deployment, we'll all have a party and say, we made it halfway. So that'll be fun. And then of course we do a final night and a welcome home. So those are pretty big ones. I'd say those arguably are the biggest things that we do as the FRG, just because obviously we want to make sure everyone is present at the welcome home. We've maybe made banners or made signs. We want to make sure everyone has the resources they need to welcome their sailors back. Things like that. So basically we find the need within each family dynamic and we try to target what we do towards that. So that's really, what it's all about. A lot of spouses here, they're not from here, they don't have family here, and they feel very alone, especially when their sailor is on the ship. So one of the biggest things is we just want them to know that we're all in this together. We are all here for everyone. So if ever, even if it's just a coffee date or to go, get your mani-pedi, or even if there's, exactly. Or there's if there's, dads that are staying behind and their wives are on the ship, we could do hot dogs and beer at the park or something, so we try to cater to everyone's needs specifically. So it's not just this general idea that we are making and everyone has to fit into that mold. We try to mold it to each individual need and then bring everyone together.
You guys are, so obviously FRG, you're starting to ramp up in your world now. I mean, you soon, there's a deployment going on, but it's starting to build up right now. You mentioned something about donations to me private. What tell me about donations.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll pick on an example I've already mentioned, which is like an arts and crafts day. So if anyone was interested in helping to financially support the FRG, one thing they could do is give us a gift card, or which it could be a generic Visa gift card or specific to Michael's. If we make a post, that says we're doing an arts and crafts day, we'd love for people to donate the supplies or donate a Michael's gift card, and then we can go and purchase those supplies with that gift card, and then that way it's been provided. So a lot of the focus of it is we don't want to take money from our sailors and their families. We want to outsource it and try to get money from other resources. So that way it's a more of just a benefit without it having to be, we have to buy into it, because we want them to feel that it's just given out of goodness and kindness and charity.
Oh, very good. Because Victoria, I'm going to be, obviously when we're done with this broadcast or whatever, I'm going to be putting it out on my, so it'll be on my YouTube. I'll put it out on my Facebook, and I have a bunch of friends I send an email out to. So to get the word out. So if people are going, yeah, I want to be a part of this, I want to help out with this donation, how can we do that?
Definitely. So you can just reach out to me directly first, and I can send you through the proper channels. We do have a treasurer. We're setting up our treasurer and I are setting up the bank account where we're going to receive funds if anyone wanted to do more, actual hard money kind of thing. But like I said, just really to me directly, you could communicate with me. I can get the treasurer involved, and then we can receive these gift cards, whether you mail it in, whether we meet up physically and I collect it from you, or you can even, we could make a post about our bank information to where you can make a transfer. I'm also trying to set up potentially like a Venmo situation. So still working on all of that, but anyone that's interested, it's more than welcome. It's more than, grateful that we would be for anything. So yeah, absolutely. Anyone that's willing to help.
So to get in touch with you, would they use that same number you gave before, or do you have another number?
Yeah, that would be it. We do have an email for the, so I will tell you the email is tophatfrg. Yep, tophatfrg@gmail.com. So that does go directly to me, tophatfrg@gmail.com. If anyone's interested in sending an email to get more information, I do monitor that email every day.
Okay, fantastic. Or they have the number. Okay, this is great. Now, is there anything, you're good, of course. we could yak for hours. We have yak for hours at times. Is there anything more you want to share about FRG before we close off? You did good though. Is there anything else we missed?
I think one of the big needs that I wanted to push out was that I'd like to see if I could connect with people that have venues that they're willing to offer for our get-together. So whether someone has a connection, at a restaurant or the bowling alley or Chuck E. Cheese or a local park, and they know someone at the city office that can have, help us reserve it or something like that. So any connections for physical locations where we can have our events and our meetings and have our fun activities, that's really a big need for me right now. That's what I would consider to be our big weakness that I'm trying to work on first. So anyone that has connections for places that we can hang out, meet, and maybe rent a space out, given to us for free. If someone is willing to let us rent it essentially for free, donate the time and the space, that would be phenomenal. That's really what I'm trying to focus on. Yeah,
I'd really push if there are people listening to this and have those places, I'm pushing the for free thing. Because this isn't, I mean, when you think of what we're doing, we're servicing those who serve us. Mm-hmm. And Victoria, this is great.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to push this out.
Darn right. And thank you for being on us. And guys, thank you for watching Chaplain Chat.